All right, so good news. A trade finally worked out. Like the stars aligned finally. So let me go to the executions. Boop boop doop. All right, so today was basically three trades, right? Let me go to the time. So you see, today's the 22nd. So it was this first loss, then this break even, then this recent win. Right, so I already showed the first loss and all of that. So that long that I had, right, it did eventually hit the target that I was looking for, right? It did do that, and this is indicating a higher high, right? I don't really do this for me. I just do this for whoever watches my stuff. So I saw that we made a higher high, right? Actually, let me just move the executions because they kind of that's a lot. Okay, so I saw that we made a higher high, right? And we traded up into like a 2 minute gap, and then price broke aggressively, creating a gap that broke this low, and I took this low as an intermediate low because of all the swing lows we made in this range. It was this swing low, and then this swing low. So it's like, I mean, this, you could take this as a breaking market structure, but I would have rather just look for this to be broken. And since that was broken, I was like, great. So we had a higher high, and then a low was broken. So we had a high, a low, a higher high, and then a lower low. All right, we close. We don't have to close below to do a breaking market structure, but that's just something I like to see. I like to see a close below and then the gap form. So I saw the gap form, and this fib was just showing the 50% of the gap, right? The 50% of the gap. But I wasn't really focusing too much on the gap. I was more on the breaker, right? Because we had a high, a low, a higher high, so liquidity was taken, and then a lower low, an aggressive lower low too, like huge displacement. So I was like, I know the 50% is up here, but I'll just take the retrace into the body of this breaker, right? I wasn't really looking at the wicks. I was just looking at the body. And this was an example of like when ICT says like that it's perfect delivery. It's perfect because the excuse me, the open of this candle, right, and this candle's high are the exact same value, right? So use the body of the breaker, got in on that, and then this like purplish line, this is 8:30, right? This is the 8:30 open Eastern Standard Time, and you see that we have the high of this candle matching exactly with the open of this breaker, and then the close of this candle matching exactly with the 8:30 open, and then this next candle's high matching with the 8:30 open, right? I didn't really look at all of that while it was happening. Like I didn't see all of that happening, and I was like, whoa, look at that. No, I'm just seeing this after the fact as I'm explaining it. But that's some pretty precise price action, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, so I took this retrace. I was kind of nervous, because I was like, I mean, this is a third trade, but higher probability. We took liquidity and we broke structure and we created a gap and we have a breaker, and we were technically, well, how I have it labeled in the discount, right? Because this fib was drawn from the day's lowest body low. So of all the trading, the lowest body low we made, and then the highest body high, and it came to that 50%, right? So if you look at that line, really for today, any longs or shorts that happen above and below this line, right? Came up here, became down here. Then this entry happened, that was below this. Then you ran above this, then I saw this breaker form, and it was right above that equilibrium. So I was like, all right, that technically isn't a discount. I was willing to weather a trade higher into the gap, but my stop was at the candle that made the gap, so that was really the RR I was looking for. And then I have these price lines as price broke down. So I try to lock in at 5 points, and then like 8 or 9, and then 10 if I can, and then 15 if I can, and then 20. After 10, I try to lock in by 5, right? So all of those things are things that I was looking at for this, and then I saw it. Now I could put the executions on because that was a lot. and then I entered on the 5 minute, right? This wasn't a 2 minute entry or nothing. This was the 5 minute. Excuse me. But with entry at the 5 minute, I wanted to see kind of like a sell model form on the 1 minute, so, or the lower time frames. So once I saw us enter, right, I was like, okay, now that we're up here, I needed to take this lower force, right? And we did, and we created a gap, so I didn't move my stop yet. But then when we started just breaking below and running below midnight, then I just trailed my stop down as it went. So I sold at that candle. Wait, did I get good? Hold on. Damn, okay. So yeah, I had my entry at like the top of the breaker. So that was almost no drawdown. Now if I could have like 5 trades like this, that'd be nice. But that was pretty cool. I didn't even notice that. But you can see price just broke down. Like this initial phase, I was like, all right, cool, let's just go ahead and break that. And I was talking to myself while it was happening, like I was coaching price. But I got stopped out at 10 points because as price broke below this, I moved it here because that was 10-point lock in. And my target was these green lines, right? And these green lines on the 4 hour, right, were perfect equal body lows. That's what this green line was. It was these lows. And I was looking for these lows kind of all day. Once I saw this sell, I was like, it's gonna go for those lows, man. I gotta take this. But these are perfectly clean lows. So I was like, yeah, we could sweep these. Especially due to the fact that we already took like 2 levels of buy side liquidity on that 9:30 to 10 retrace. So I was like, if it takes that, I'm gonna take a short below that, right? Because initially I wanted London, but then I saw on the 4 hour we had all these lows here. So I was like, yes, if it runs buy side liquidity to these 2 levels, I'll look for a short. Now I didn't stick with that bias the entire time. Honestly and truly, the first sell that I had waiting, where I was looking at this 2 minute gap, that was like the real sell, because that was from up here, right? So that was like it had to be like a 40 plus point move or like a 50 point move or something. Let me see, what was that? Okay, 27 points. All right, bet. So that sell down was roughly the same as this sell down. That was 20 something, this was 10. It's going lower, but I'm fine with this. Yeah, that's really all I did with that. Yeah, now I'm actually done for the day. Yeah, that was, I feel so good. But that's the thing with trading, man. That it just, right when you're like, man, this is hard, I can't, yeah. Something happened and you're like, oh wait, yes I can. He. So still in it. I wasn't gonna give up regardless, but I was definitely discouraged. I appreciate y'all's kind words though. Or the support, like the advice. I appreciate that a lot. But that's all I have because I'm rambling now. Actually, wait, hold on. What was the dollar doing at that point? Right? Just to see, because we hit the daily gap, right? Which is what I was looking for it to do. And then we have, what is it doing on like the 4 hour? We already swept liquidity. Okay, so it's really not doing much, but I wasn't even really looking at the dollar that much today. I'm not gonna lie. I just stuck to the ES because I don't want to end up using the dollar for like as like a crutch. I don't want to be dependent on what the dollar is doing, because I was able to trade before knowing what like the correlation between the ES and the dollar is. So I'm just trying to use that for confirmation, but not to trade it as in if it does this, it has to do this. I don't really want to do that. But again, that's everything I have. Yeah, that's all I got. Next week, you know what I'm saying, we'll get with it, we'll get at it, we'll go get it. I don't know why